All right, let's get right into it. In the world of AI, there's a high-stakes chess match playing out between two titans, Anthropic and OpenAI. And, with every single move, the future of this tech is being rewritten. So let's break down the game. So the latest shot was fired just last week. An internal memo from OpenAI got out, and in it, they called their rival Anthropic's core strategy on compute, the raw processing power you need to fuel these AIs, a strategic misstep. I mean, that is a bold opening move. And how did Anthropic clap back at that taunt? Well, they responded with a number, a really, really big number. $25 billion. That's the size of a brand new investment from Amazon. And get this, it was announced just days after that OpenAI memo leaked. What a counter move. And that stunning counter move brings us straight to the first major battleground in this AI war, the race for compute. See, it's not just about who has the smartest algorithm anymore. It's about who has the sheer horsepower to actually run the thing. When you dig into the details of this deal, the scale is just staggering. This is not some simple investment. We're talking about a deep, decade-long partnership. Anthropic gets $25 billion, plus they get exclusive access to Amazon's next-gen Trainium 4 chips. The trade-off? They're committing to spend $100 billion on Amazon's cloud services. This is a move for the long haul, for sure. So what Anthropic and Amazon have done here is create what analysts are calling a strategic lock-in. Basically, they're chaining their entire infrastructure to Amazon for the next 10 years. The huge advantage is they get a massive, predictable amount of compute power. But the risk? Oh, it's huge. Their fate is now completely tied to whether Amazon's hardware succeeds or fails. So how does this stack up against what OpenAI is doing? Well, until now, OpenAI has been all about building its own stuff, partnering with companies like Cerebras for custom-made chips. With this Amazon deal, Anthropic is essentially yelling, we can match your ambition, not by building it ourselves, but by signing an exclusive deal with the biggest cloud provider on Earth. They've just completely leveled the playing field on hardware. And this really nails the new reality. Like tech analyst Aaron Rose said, the revenue recognition war just got a hardware chapter. That's it right there. The game has just fundamentally changed. But all that hardware, it is unbelievably expensive. And that brings us to the second major divide between these two companies. How on earth do they plan to pay for it all? Well, just this month, OpenAI made a massive pivot. They officially turned on cost-per-click advertising right inside ChatGPT. Yep. This means advertisers can now pay directly when a user clicks, just like on Google Search, and that opens up a potentially gigantic new revenue stream. So why the change right now? Well, the value of just showing an ad in ChatGPT, what's called CPM, has been dropping like a rock. It went from $60 at launch all the way down to just $25 today. By shifting to cost per click, OpenAI is now letting advertisers pay for actual results, not just views, which makes their ad platform a whole lot more competitive. And OpenAI's ambitions here are just enormous. They've been telling investors they expect this whole ad business to bring in $11 billion in revenue by 2027. So this isn't some side experiment. They're betting on ads as a core pillar of their financial future. And this just highlights a massive contrast, doesn't it? Anthropic is positioning its product, Claude, as this premium, ad-free experience that's really focused on business customers. OpenAI, on the other hand, is betting on a Hydra future, mixing subscriptions with ads for the masses. These are two totally different philosophies about what an AI assistant should even be. Now, this philosophical split, it goes way beyond just money. And that brings us to our third strategic divide, which is about a really controversial new policy from Anthropic, something that gets at a much more fundamental question, user identity. That's right. In a move that we've just never seen from a major AI company, Anthropic has quietly started requiring some of its users to verify their identity with a government-issued photo ID and a live selfie just to use their chatbot, Claude. So what does this actually look like for a user? Well, you have to physically hold up an ID to your camera, then take a live selfie so their system can do a biometric match. The whole thing is handled by a third-party service called Persona, and it takes about 5 minutes. It's a pretty significant new hurdle to get access. The fine print here is fascinating. Anthropic's official reason is geopolitical. They want to block access for users in countries like China, Russia, and North Korea. But as you can probably guess, the move has caused a huge backlash from privacy-focused users. And it probably didn't help that the rollout was so clumsy. It just started happening with no official announcement. So, what does this all mean when you put it together? Well, we're clearly watching two AI titans taking two fundamentally different paths to get to this same destination. Let's just recap the three key fronts real quick. When it comes to compute, it's a strategic lock-in with Amazon versus building your own custom stack. For monetization, it's an ad-free subscription model versus a hybrid ad-supported future. And for user identity, it's mandatory ID checks versus open accessibility for everyone. And that really leaves us with this one big, provocative question. In this high-stakes race for AI supremacy, which philosophy is going to win? The one that prioritizes security by verifying its users, or the one that prioritizes scale by advertising to them? The answer is going to shape the future of AI for all of us.